Now we're going to just touch on Inferno just quickly. The only thing I really want to mention about him, I mean, a lot of people are kind of confused. Like, really, like they're just gonna paint hotspot red and call it Inferno, and that's it. That's kind of lazy. But I think that there's more to this. Without sounding punny, there's more in this than meets the eye. Inferno looks a lot like they're going with another character that existed in the Transformers mythos. If you dial it back to G1 Japan, uh, there's a small handful of series that kind of like go under the radar because they didn't have a animation attached to them. You had Transformers Zone, that was only one episode. It was an OVA. Not a lot of people talked about it because it was, it had the OVA, so at least people know who Die Atlas is and Sonic Bomber because of it. But kind of went under the radar. Then you had Battle Stars, which was the return of Star Convoy. And again, people kind of know more about that one because it had a brand new Optimus Prime toy, a Micromaster Hot Rod toy. So people kind of knew about that one, but they didn't know too much about it because it didn't have a show. It just had some manga, some story pages that told the story as if there was going to be a show, and that was it. The final installment of Generation 1, the very final installment of the entire Generation 1 continuity, was a series called Operation Combination. And in Operation Combination, the two main followed characters was the combination team of Guard City, which was just a repaint of Defensor, against Battle Gaia, which was just a repaint of Bruticus. And the leader of Guard City, because again it's a Defensor repaint, was a character named, aptly, Fire Chief. And Fire Chief was a red repaint of the Hotshot mold, more or less. And so you kind of look, all we've seen thus far is we've really just seen this art of the quote Inferno. And we see the combined mode. And the combined mode has that Menasor-esque Fire Chief kind of head. So I'm thinking to myself, I think we got a first time in, God, I think it was 1992. For the first time in a long while, we're finally going to get a updated version of this old G1 character.
So
This old,
obscure.
super obscure G1 character. So, I mean, that's something I just wanted to touch on quickly because a lot of people were kind of like, oh, really? We're just going to do Inferno? And I think the only reason why they're calling it Inferno is because they just can't call it Fire Chief because it's really,
Yeah, yeah.
So they're just like, oh, we'll call it Inferno. We have it licensed. We might as well throw it somewhere. But I'm telling you, this is the, and this is something again when Takara is going to grab it, Sakamoto is going to run with it, and he's going to go, all right, this is Fire Chief. And I'm knowing Takara, they're going to even use every little paint app and everything to make it look exactly like the original Takara release back in 1992. And not to mention, the Fire Chief toy or Guard City as a whole, extremely expensive. Extremely. You're talking like $1,000 complete. So to get any kind of modern interpretation for your G1 shelf
Yeah.
is a welcome addition. So yeah, kind of crazy, but kind of cool at the same time. Just a speculation, but I mean, kind of cool.
One thing I'm hoping is that again they do the whole, me being silly and homage is that they already have the hotspot and they have this Inferno, and then they find a reason to re-release this in a yellow and a green, and then a third party will come along and make the color appropriate chess pieces.
they'll do some kind of they'll do some kind of center and for people who aren't making the connection of what Wendell means for Gao Geiger,
Yeah.
um, for all the Ryu brothers as I like to call them, um, I could see some kind of center, like a chess piece that also like it just goes right down the middle, so that
Yeah.
somehow everything clips in and
Yeah,
does like two
exactly.
halves. I could see that. That'd be crazy.
Or a chess piece that would just have like the color coding and the element that you're supposed to represent.
Well, again with this one, when this Inferno, whatever you want to call it, when this Inferno release does come out, that does mean at least we're gonna get a red and and a blue. So at least we have the first team of the Ryu brothers. So
Right.
then we'd have to get then yellow and green, and then if you want to go for the feminine side, a pink and a black. For the like the sisters of the Ryus at the end.
Oh
So
yeah, that's true.
I'm from Grau Geiger final, but that's like super fan way. That's like five
Like,
guys
I mean,
are gonna get it.
I don't expect them to do that, but it would just be because I mean they did do that for the Generations Inferno. The what was the one with the hook? Which one was the one with
Oh,
the yellow
grapple,
repaint?
grapple.
Grapple, and then they had the green one, and they had the blue one. I think was Hotspot. No,
Yeah,
so they actually like did release all of those and those in that color, but I don't know if someone on that
no one
team
ever
was
did a
doing that
third
on purpose.
party.
Like I don't know if someone on that on the team in Takara or Hasbro was purposely doing it
I think it was
on
just
that
more
level.
just maybe just to get mileage out of those molds.
Yeah. So I mean, but it's a good mileage.
Yeah. Oh no, totally.